everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kat Pinder from North Point Tarot, and today I'm going to be your friendly neighborhood reader. And I hope Spider-Man doesn't come for me for using that phrase. Okay, so today we're going to do a reading for Taurus, December 2020. So if you guys are new here, welcome and subscribe to my channel and like the video. So this is how we're going to do it. We do Taurus's inner world, outer world, and messages from spirit. If you guys are returning, you know the deal. Thank you for returning. Yeah, so I will be doing an extended for this as well. So I do apologize to Libra, Gemini, and Pisces for not doing an extended for their signs. Just wasn't meant to be, you know. But the readings are still good anyway. So yeah. In the extended, by the way, we take a look, I forgot to mention, at the blockages, challenges, and guidance from spirit and how to deal with that. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can purchase the extended by clicking the link down below or joining me on OnlyFans for a monthly subscription, and you get access to all the extended videos. So Taurus, what's going on with you in your inner world? So in my Leo video, I talked about how there are 3 important dates sort of coming up. So when this video is going to be uploaded, I think it should be closer to one of these dates. So firstly, we have the 12-12 portal coming up, which is going to be, as I spoke about in Leo, kind of like a pre-game drinks, you know. You start vibing before you leave for the party. And then we're going to have a solar eclipse in Sagittarius for the 14th of, on the 14th of December. I'm sorry guys, I have like crocodile syndrome because I just like scoffed down some pasta. Oh my god, I think in last month's reading as well, I also had pasta before I did the Taurus reading. It's a rookie mistake. I don't know why I keep doing it. Anyway, I digress. So the 14th of December, and then we also have a new moon coming up as well on the 14th of December. So double energy. And I did mention in quite a few of my videos that there's going to be a lot of increased energy, high frequency. Things are going to move along quickly. It's a good time for you to set your intentions, your manifestations, to amplify positive affirmations. And remember guys, energy is amplified, works both ways. So if you're negative, if you're in a negative vibe or a low vibe, you could amplify that as well. So take it easy there. I feel specifically that message was for Taurus, but we'll see what comes up. And then we have the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. So that basically means the planets are aligned. These two are one of the biggest planets in the solar system. So it's pretty important. Let's get started. And there we have the moon. So I have a feeling, because I also got this for Leo, I have a feeling that I'll probably end up posting these videos closer to that time. So I'm trying to keep a little bit of a schedule here, guys, but sometimes I may, it may take me a while to put the videos up, just because they're an absolute bitch to upload, to be honest. So we have the moon. I feel like that's significant to the new moon that's coming up on the 14th of December. The moon is also deep emotions and secrets, but I feel very surface layered. I feel like that message is just something's popping off in the new moon. So something new could be coming for you guys. I did see the Ace of Pence at the bottom when I pulled that card. So you guys could get an offer of something, a job, a message, offer of commitment, something solid and tangible. Something big as well coming up in the new moon. So that could manifest into reality around that time. The Judgment, 2 major arcana up front. It's amazing. So the Judgment is rising and ascending. It's also making a decision. It's also reconciliation. Judgment is something pretty important here. I don't know what's important about it, but they just had me say the Judgment is pretty important. So it could be a decision. You know, it could be this, your decision to accept the offer I just previously spoke about could be important for whatever reason. The 4 of Wands, there you go. This could be an engagement coming to light for some of you guys, because the 4 of Wands is 1111. It's the card of union. It's the twin flame card of union. Celebrations, engagements, weddings, proposals, that type of thing, you know. So I feel like this is why, see that Ace of Pence, it was probably like an engagement ring or something. And with the moon here, it could come during that time, or it could it could be a surprise, because remember, the moon is hidden. It's a very deep surprise. So for some of you guys, that's what could happen. It's funny because this is your inner world, and I'm not even feeling it. I didn't even read it with the intention of it being something that's internal. But let's just go with the flow on the reading. The World card, another major arcana. So something big is happening, and like I said, and this is why for Leo and Taurus, I started off with explaining these events that are astrological, because I feel like it's really going to impact everybody, all the star signs. It doesn't matter, but I'm doing your readings closer to that time, so it makes sense. So you need to understand what's going on. They're saying you need to understand the severity of it. I know that sounds ominous, but it's just a big decision. It's make or break. It's the season in which you now set the tone for the next years. So the Saturn Jupiter conjunction doesn't happen often. The last time it happened was 20 years ago. The next time it'll happen will be 2080, I think, or around that time. So it's gonna set the next cycle or the next energy frequencies for the rest of your life. Now, am I saying if you miss that opportunity, you know, can't get it back or whatever? No. It'll just take you in a different route. You'll go down a different path, but you'll still end up where you need to. So just to make it easy, make a good judgment call. Yeah, so the world is completion. The world is worldly events, is what they're saying. It's coming together. It's that I've been around the block and now I have the T-shirt, like I have the knowledge. Let's see what else for Taurus. Two of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Interesting. So Taurus, I feel like you're worried. This is why they said the severity of the decision or the energy, because you seem to be a bit stuck here with the Two of Swords, but it's because you're anxious and nervous and worried, and they want to reiterate that, you know what, there's no time for you to be worried and be in low vibration, which is why I also went off about how you can amplify negative energy as well. So they want you to be very careful about that on the inside, because you are manifesting during this moon cycle, the new moon or the full moon that's coming up, whichever one, something that is going to raise your vibration and sort of ascend you to a higher level. So whether that's a literal ascension to a higher level of a relationship, like an engagement, or this is just your personal spiritual ascension and growth, either way you're moving up. And that's a cycle that's going to complete, and then a new cycle that's going to begin. Actually, you move up in the cycle that you're going to begin. But there's a little warning here with these two cards about making sure that you're clear and not holding yourself back from making a judgment call that's actually going to bring you the Four of Wands, which is celebration and beautiful energy, because you're worried, because you're anxious. It's like they really are screaming, please don't miss this opportunity. And I even got that for Scorpio as well. Scorpio had a very interesting reading. It was about Scorpio needing to stop picking the scab and being the wounded warrior and open up to vulnerability, because again, the universe is pushing every star sign right now to really wrap up these low vibrational energies, because we're preparing to have a high influx of energy come in and surround us, in which possibilities are endless for us to swap timelines, jump timelines, manifest more clearly, more intently. So it works both ways. If you're in low vibration, then you're going to manifest more low vibrational situations and feelings. I feel like they're really pushing me to reiterate that. I don't know. So the King of Swords, this guy is the guy to make the decision. See, he's very direct. So in your outer world, you may be very direct, you may be very cutthroat, but he's contemplating as well. What's he contemplating about the outer world? The Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so in your outer world, I feel like you're contemplating what your abundance means to you, what your security means to you, and what your family means to you. Because see, this is about long-term commitments. And the Four of Wands here, I said some of you guys could be getting engaged. So you really are thinking about this and you really are pondering about it. But remember, the King of Swords is the perfect guy to make a good decision. But then also remember, guys, if you're getting engaged with someone you love, you also need a little bit of the King of Cups showing up. King of Swords can't be the only one dealing with that. And we have the Tower, amazing. So this is a breakthrough. This is going to come as a surprise. It's going to be a shock that comes through in your outer world. It's also like foundations of the old crumbling. And I feel like the indecision and the nightmare here, or the anxiety, is what needs to crumble. But either way, this is just going to take you, it's going to take you by shock. It's a surprise. And then you have the Star. Wow, you guys have a lot of major arcana coming out, so there's something big happening for you guys, Taurus. I know Taurus is the sign of, it's the bull, but you guys like to be slow, committed, and very stable. And we have the Star here, sorry, I forgot to mention. The Star is alignment, so whatever cycle you're wrapping up and whatever, you know, it's not so much that they want me to talk about the cycle that you're wrapping up, it's the cycle that you're going into that they're stressing. That is something that you're aligned for. So this is why they're like, look, bro, don't miss the opportunity. Look at this, the Ace of Wands. That's that opportunity. There's the King of Cups. I said he wanted to come out. I'm going to take him out. So you need to balance, because the Two of Swords can also be, you could also be at a duel. You have the High Priest, which is another card of commitment, marriage, structure, you know, going in front of the eyes of God and getting married, because he's the Pope in traditional decks. And then you have the Strength card, two major arcanas again. It's like all of them are coming out here. And there's a strong commitment here. There's a strong structure here. There's a strong stability. It's like they're showing me four corners. And the four corners is the High Priest. And then what you lay, like if you're pouring concrete in these four beacons, that's the Ten of Pentacles. So you're laying that foundation in that structure. Now, if your structure is a square, then you're going to build up like a square. So, I mean, if your foundation is a square, then you're going to build the structure up as a square. I don't know why I'm going off on that. But anyway, yeah, and then if you turn your beacons skew, then the structure you build up is going to be skew. You guys get the picture, I hope. Okay, yeah, so Ace of Wands, a new idea, a new start, a new season, something very powerful, something very magnetic, something very spiritual, because wands are spirituality. The King is here, the King of Swords is here, the King of Cups is here. There needs to be a balance, as I was saying with the Two of Swords. It could be you could be at a stalemate. And in this stalemate, these two have to work together to make the decision. These two versions of yourself. You know, he makes the good decisions, but he also has his heart in it and follows his intuition. And if you look at this is the card that's next to the King of Cups, and this is a card of intuition, because it's the Ace of Wands, but this person's third eye looks lit. So let's pull some clarifiers. And then we'll get messages from Spirit, and I will be doing an extended. Let's go check the moon for you guys. Get clarity. We have the Ace of Swords. You guys have two aces. So the Ace of Swords is clarity, it is communication. So you see somebody here, something's going to be revealed. Some truth is going to be revealed that was hidden from you. So you could have somebody who comes, like, surprises you by wanting to get engaged or something like that, but it's just going to be revealed. Judgment. You're going to have to make a decision. Yes. You see I spoke about a pentacle earlier. This is the Page of Pentacles. So this guy looks like he could be holding a ring. Some of you guys, I feel for sure that it is an engagement, and if it is, it's super cool. So please let me know down below in the comments. If it is, I'd really be interested to know. I think that's really sweet. Let's take a look at the Four of Wands. The Two of Swords. Okay, so there it is. You know, it's the Four of Wands is a card of stability and balance as well, because you have two wands on either side, and there they're showing me the beacon. There it is. Now I get it. So the four beacons in the corners, and I feel like you're getting in your head about it, about the sort of structure that you're creating. It's a good structure, it's stable, but there's just your own insecurity and worry that's getting in the way, and it's actually going to ruin a very beautiful thing. So be mindful of that, Taurus. Let's take a look at the World card, the Empress. So you are birthing a new cycle, which is amazing. The Empress is creativity, she's pregnant, she's the divine feminine. You're going to be birthing a cycle that's so abundant. Please don't let the nightmares get in the way of that. See the Two of Swords. Yes, it's procrastination. So there's also another warning here. This seems to be the warning section about procrastinating on this. Don't procrastinate. If somebody asks you to marry them and you just suddenly get stuck and you're like a deer in headlights, and then you just don't know what to do because in the back of your mind those fears and those anxieties and the devil energy and the worries are getting to you, and because you pause, so and so might get the wrong idea here, or so and so might take back the engagement and say, well, or think that you don't want it, you know. So be careful of procrastination and taking too long to make a decision. Of course, you always use your discernment, and if you are not ready, then you need to speak to so and so about it. But don't take too long, you know. Don't procrastinate. Don't stay stuck. The last thing you want right now with this beautiful energy coming in is to stagnate yourself, because you want to move forward. You want to utilize this energy to be a catalyst for your forward movement. See the Nine of Swords. The Fool. You're worried about leaping. You're worried about taking this leap with so and so. Yeah, it's a little bit cute. But it's like, okay, the Fool, it is risky, but not really in a bad way. It's just that you don't know what lies ahead. This Fool is busy walking. I think her face, her eyes are like up in the air, so she's not really looking at what lies ahead. But that doesn't mean that there's going to be something bad that lies ahead, because you have beautiful energy here. You have the capacity to build a really lovely long-term foundation for you guys to stand on or live in. So you're just a little bit jittery on taking that leap. But I'm hearing they're saying to me, I think you should. I think you should take the leap. But of course, it's up to you guys. We all have free will. Let's take a look at the King of Swords. Okay, so the King of Swords. So in your outer world, I think you're reflecting about the past and all the times that it didn't work out. And I know a lot of people do that. So it's all right, but don't get stuck in that. You can acknowledge that bad things have happened in the past, uncomfortable things that happened in the past, hurtful things that happened in the past. But it's the past and you can't change it, so why go back there and start picking that scab? This is why I thought of Scorpio when I started your reading. Let's take a look at the Ten of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. That's an interesting energy. You know, you could be looking back at situations where you've seen long-term commitments end up being very dodgy and very weak or very manipulative. So the dynamic that you were probably exposed to, whether this was you in a marriage or a long-term commitment before, or watching your parents or family dynamic, for example, this was something where you saw people were not, it wasn't a very good foundation. People were not nice. So you got the wrong idea. So you may have grown out of that and understood that, you know what, the things that I saw before with relationships and whatever, they were not the right way. Sorry, it's my long ass hair. What was I saying? But, you know, it's still kind of ingrained in you to think back to those times or those relationships as the first and foremost examples that you had. I'm hearing for you, Taurus, they're saying the message, it's not going to be you. So if you were growing up in a family dynamic that was a little bit broken or toxic, and it was not a healthy foundation or a healthy marriage, like you saw your parents go through a divorce, or you saw your parents be very nasty to each other and toxic, and you sort of, you know, have a fear, and there's where the Nine of Swords comes in. You have a fear of that happening to you and your partner who wants to get married to you, or that you or them wanting to commit to you. But you need to understand that's not going to happen to you. It's really up to you on how that pans out. By holding on to the past and holding on to the pain, you do have the capacity to manifest more of those experiences. See the Tower here. Yeah, so the Tower is coming down to break things. We have the Four of Pentacles to clarify that. It's coming, the Tower is going to come down to sort of have you have a breakthrough with regards to that and finally let go of that mindset. The person you're with, I feel they love you a lot. They really want to commit to you. I'm getting a very sweet energy. They're very understanding. So this person may know about your past or your past relationships or your childhood and your views on long-term commitments and marriages, and they're accepting in a way that they're mindful of the fact that, you know, you're sensitive about it in that way. But don't allow that to get in the way of having a very beautiful structure and basically starting your own family, doing it differently from what you saw as a kid or what you experienced in the previous cycle. Let's take a look at the star. Yes, because we have the sun here, so the star is that you're aligning to happiness. So there really is nothing to worry about. You're aligning to the sun and the stars, which is beautiful energy. Let's take a look at the Ace of Wands. Yep, so this idea, this offer, this passionate new beginning is destiny. It's fated. It's about you turning the wheel and creating a new dynamic. So, you know, you could be a chain breaker. If this is like, if most members of your family end up in divorce, this doesn't have to be you. It doesn't really, because you here with this Ace of Wands and Wheel of Fortune, you can turn that around for your generation, for your bloodline. Let's take a look at the King of Cups. The Death card, interesting. So, Eight of Swords being trapped in your head. So the Death card is transformation. It's about endings and new beginnings, but it's about becoming more emotionally mature. So it's about, you know, acknowledging the fact that, yeah, maybe you do have some fears about taking this leap of faith with this person because of the past. And there's emotional maturity in accepting that you had those fears, but you're not going to let them hold you back, because you can't completely eradicate the past and like make it as if it never happened. It obviously happened, but you can choose whether how much you want it to affect you and your future decisions and choices. So let's get some guidance and then I'll go into the extended. So what advice and guidance can we give Taurus? So we have Freya, phases and cycles, and that says there is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released with the Four of Pentacles, you see? So this illusion that you've created that, you know, all relationships or all marriages end in divorce, that is an illusion, okay? That is a straight up illusion based on the shit that you were programmed to believe or surrounded by. That was a wounding that needs to be addressed and healed. Let's see what else. So we have Mulkeys deck, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So in your experience, what you've learned is that maybe you watched your parents or your previous relationships disintegrate. And in you watching them, you sort of understood why. So you thought, hey, my mom and dad don't communicate well. That's a red flag. Or my dad always, bosses my mom around, and my mom always is passive aggressive. So you learned from those relationships. You learned about what broke them down. So that now you do have the power and the knowledge and the experience that when you have your long-term commitment, you're going to know what to do and what not to do and how to handle the situation far better than all these other people ever did, you know. See one more. Oh, I love this. This is perfect. This is beautiful. Faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, and see the light in the world. So the universe is really asking you to see the light in the situation. Clearly you have somebody here who really loves you and wants to start a family with you and stuff, and that is the light, that is the love that the universe wants to send your way. So, you know, stay calm. Don't try and get too worried about taking this leap of faith. They're saying take one step at a time and trust yourself as well. So maybe you holding on to something thinking, oh, it's in my family, so maybe I'll be the one to fuck things up. No, you won't. So you need to trust yourself because you are good and the person you're with is good too. Okay, Taurus, that's my December 2020 reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For those of you who are joining me in the extended, I will see you there. And if not, I hope you have a wonderful December. Bye.